John Ryder, good to see you. I'm seeing you on very special terms today. Big news, May the 6th. We're locked in. Can you just tell the world of boxing what the latest is?
May 6th, Guadalajara. I hope I've not murdered that. Myself against Canelo Alvarez. Undisputed battle.
In terms of fights, in terms of stage, in terms of platform, how big is this?
I think if you paint a picture as a kid, and set the scene, I think it's perfect. His backyard, for all the marbles. Listen, it's not been a straight road to get there. It's been a few bumps and a few diversions, but we've got there now, and it's looking very good. And I'll see him in the opposite corner May 6th.
You mentioned about being a kid there for the young John Ryder at Angel ABC. Do you think if you could have told him that with his hard work and dedication over the years that this is the pinnacle and this is the platform he would get to, how do you think he'd have responded to that?
Well, mate, I hope so. I sold my missus a dream 15 odd years ago that I would be world champion and I'd be this and I'd be that, and I think 15, 16 years later now we're getting there, and her investment might have paid off.
Was this what you always manifested, John, when you think, well, like I say, when you think about all the sacrifices, when you think about what you told your missus, was this it? Was this what was always in your mind?
This was always the dream, yeah. I think this is always the goal. Sometimes there was a lot of fog in the way and I couldn't see where I was going. It was just one foot in front of the other, but I think it's paid off. I've got a lot of people that I owe a massive amount of debt to for believing in me and not always providing, but I think that now that we're on a level playing field now, and I'm showing everyone that I've earned this shot and I deserve to be here, and that all the hard work and sacrifices paid off.
Despite the small matter of fighting Canelo and for all the marbles at 168 pounds, like you just said there about your family, what will this fight, John, allow you to do for your missus and your children as well?
I mean, it's a level up, isn't it? We can get that home we've always wanted. New schools for the kids, a better life for them, and a better life for me and the missus. So that's always been the aim, always been the goal, and I hope we're going to get it sorted.
To become undisputed champion of the world as well, because that's the prize. I know you're not going over there to make the numbers up, which we'll come on to talk about, but have you thought about that and what that might mean to John Ryder?
Oh, unbelievable! But I've always envisaged that. I've always seen myself with those belts and that Rocky belt, the Ring magazine. I've always dreamt about those belts. And like I say, yeah, it seemed like a lifetime away, months and years ago. But I'm finally here now, and I feel like I really do deserve to be here. I've paid my dues in this sport, and I've earned this shot 3 times over probably. So yeah, I feel like I really deserve to be here and deserve this shot.
That word timing, I think, is an important word associated to this fight. For you, first of all, John, why do you believe this is the right time for John Ryder to secure this fight with Canelo Alvarez?
Well, I just think we're both getting older. It's no secret. So Alvarez is probably coming off his worst year as a pro, having lost to Bivol, and then not the vintage performance against Golovkin in the third fight that I think everyone was expecting. Whereas I feel like last year I had my best year, defeating Danny Jacobs and then getting myself in line for the WBO world title in beating Zach Parker. So I mean, there's always that to look at. I know he had an injury, and I know he's coming back from it. So it's all to be seen if it was down to the injury. But I'm the man in the opposite corner to test it out.
What have you been able to take from his recent performances? Obviously against 2 legendary world-class fighters in Bivol and Golovkin, but what have you been able to take from watching him recently, as you say?
Listen, he's still very dangerous. He's still an excellent tactician. He gets things spot on, and listen, he had a great year in the year when he become undisputed. He what did he fight three times that year, and listen, he really changed the game. He's had so much success that you can only respect him. There's no bad blood here for me. I respect him as a fighter. It's not going to be hard for me to study his fights because I've watched most of them already. So it's just YouTube again, more Canelo fights, and just paying more attention now to what he does good and what mistakes he makes.
Many Brits have tried over the years. No doubts there are also fights that you've watched as a fan and also supporting your fellow countrymen. But just on what you just said there, as a fighter, what do you think over the years has made him so difficult to beat, Canelo?
I think just his tenacity. he's hard to read, he's hard to gauge, and he's very powerful. He's very strong. He's got a granite chin and power in both hands. So he's always got an equaliser. But I don't know. I mean, he's like I say, he's ageing. We don't know how that's affecting him, how that injury's playing. But I just feel to go in there, put my best foot forward, and give a fantastic account of myself and come away with the marbles.
Although Dmitry Bivol was world class, like I said, many thought in that fight he ran out of ideas, perhaps ran out of steam as well against a bigger man. We know you've got a great engine. It's probably one of your best attributes heading into a big fight like this. How important do you think that engine might be for you?
I didn't really see the reasoning behind fighting Bivol at 175, if I'm honest. I mean, I know he boxed a couple of years ago at light heavyweight and he won the world title, but he said that it was a bit of a big jump and he felt the weight difference. So I felt it was a bit strange that he went up there again. Obviously, that was against Kovalev. So, I mean, Bivol was younger, fresher, and I felt it was a strange move at the time. But listen, you always back what he's going to do. So I was a believer that he'd get the win.
Do you feel it's a fight you will have to push the pace, push him back from the opening bell? Do you feel that's the sort of style you'll have to approach heading into this fight?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm going to have to do something that no one else has ever done before. I'll just really change it up, mix it up. Don't stand there in front of him. Don't give him too much respect. Give him respect. He obviously deserves it. But just don't hold my feet. But don't move too much. Don't waste that nervous energy. Just keep it all in the tank.
You've had good notice for this fight. You've been in the gym, really, haven't you, since the Zach Parker fight? And like you say, coming off a great year, a lot of momentum heading into this fight. In terms of peak, what John Ryder do you think we can expect to see in the ring come May 6th?
I think we're just over 10 weeks out now. It's great notice for a fight. I've had this fight in mind for the last 3 years. So I've always been looking at this fight, one eye on the prize. But I think give me a good few weeks and we'll be in full swing of camp and I'll be ready to go come May 6th.
This is Canelo's first fight in Mexico since 2011. It's going to be a huge occasion, Cinco de Mayo as well. How are you feeling about heading into the Lion's Den? It's going to be hostile and heading over to Mexico.
Well, I think I always get a message from a few Mexicans showing love, so I hope they show it when I'm out there. But I think I watched his last fight. I think it was Ryan Rhodes out there, so I mean, we can see what he was about then, and we'll see what he's about now.
When you're on the ring walk, there's talk of a big stadium. What sort of atmosphere are you expecting to greet you, John, when you're making your ring walk?
I don't think it's going to be AJ or Fury at Wembley, is it? It's not going to be clapping. I expect to get some cups of piss thrown over me and be spat out, whatnot. But listen, I think they're just there to hope they're there to appreciate a good fight, and both of us put it all on the line.
You've been on the wrong end, I think it's fair to say, of some decisions that have caused a lot of conversation, a lot of controversy. Do you feel heading into Mexico with the partisan crowd that it's going to be? Do you believe to bring them belts back home, you have to stop Canelo Alvarez?
I don't think so. I think that was the worry when he fought Bivol. I think everyone was worried about the scorecards being read out and it being like a decision for Canelo and Bivol being robbed. And it just showed that the score and the judging is fair, and you've got to put your trust in the judges. That's their job. They've got one sole job to do, and just trust in them that they can do it.
Everyone has haters, John. We live in a world where everyone can share an opinion very freely on social media. Everyone's got doubters. What's your message to the boxing world for those who are assessing the challenge that you can impose on Canelo and maybe aren't giving you the best chance?
Don't shoot me down. I'm still dreaming. So let me live my dream, and listen, keep your opinions to yourself. I'm not reading them. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for you. Go about your business. Life can't be that bad that you've got to worry about me too much.
Canelo keeps talking about a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. It seems that he's got his heart and his head set on that. Do you think there's any part of him that could be looking beyond this fight and he's seen it as a homecoming party? And if he is, what sort of problems might that be for him?
Well, I think he should look to the rematch at the Emirates with me, get his titles back, or try. Listen, there's always that chance, but I think he's too much of a professional. I think he knows what's at stake, and obviously him not being successful May 6th, he knows that fight's not there for him next.
In terms of the manifestation you've talked about since you were a young boy in Angel ABC, I suppose, is that you win this fight in Mexico, and like you just said, you bring him back here for a massive night at Arsenal?
Nice. He's getting his homecoming in Mexico. I wouldn't say a homecoming because I boxed in London last, but back at the Emirates. Arsenal winning the league this year, and me back at the Emirates defending my titles, Undisputed against Canelo. Yeah.
In terms of acclimatising, it's always a big conversation point when a fighter will go over to get used to the climate, get used to the time zone, get used to the heat. What's the plans for you and the team, John?
Well, we looked at it. There's no altitude. I think it's only 1,500 metres above sea level, so that's not an issue. I think Tony said about going to Vegas 2 weeks before, do our last bit of sparring there, which is 8 hours behind. Then we'll obviously head down to Guadalajara fight week, which is 6 hours behind. So I don't think it's too much of a worry. The 2 hours less, but yeah, I think we'll be all right. We'll get a nice bit of time in Vegas, acclimatise, and just really get our heads down.
No doubt you and Tony will put together a very detailed game plan, go there full of self-belief. Why is making up the numbers something that is just not in the DNA of the gorilla?
I think, Tony, as a man, it's not in there just to go there and do what you can do. It's go there and put it all on the line. And I don't think he'd want to represent me in the corner if he didn't think I was going to do that, and rightly so. I think he trusts in me that I'll go there and put my best foot forward and give it 110% and come away with it. It's not the first time we've been to the Lions Den. We've been to Liverpool. We've been to Liverpool a couple of times. Listen, we've been hard done by, but we've always gone for it and been unlucky.
You'll have a chance to hear what Canelo has to say at the press conference. You'll have a chance to look into his eyes and come face to face as well. What's your message now, though, John, to Canelo of what type of challenge he needs to be preparing for with yourself?
Just train hard. Don't overlook me because I know not to overlook you, but I'm coming and this is my time.
And you said that you don't feel you have to win this fight by knockout, and I'm going to use the word one last time, manifestation, when I'm sure you've already done it. You've already seen the ring walk. You've already seen the seconds out in your mind. How do you see this fight unfolding? How do you see yourself beating Canelo Alvarez?
Just being smart, just being forcing the pace at times, maybe. Just smart movement, just not being careless, not being reckless, keeping that high guard, just being sensible. Just don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple.
Are the belts coming home?
The belts, well, I'm not gonna say it's coming home because that don't seem to happen, but the belts are coming home. Yeah.
John Ryder, what a fight! Wish you the very best of luck, mate.